Welcome to your online coffee break, where we discuss bite-sized topics that inspire, educate, and entertain. Here's your host, a software innovator, award-winning marketer, and astronomy and space buff, Chuck Fields.
Hello, thanks for joining me today for your online coffee break. Before I introduce our special guest for today, I want to thank you. Thanks to you, we are now in 99 countries and all 50 U.S. states. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribing is free. Just go to your favorite podcast application and subscribe today. If you need help subscribing, just go to onlinecoffeebreak.com/subscribe, and there are instructions there for subscribing from your phone or your favorite podcast application. Also, we'd love it if you'd rate us on Apple Podcasts or give us feedback on your favorite podcast application as well. That would really help us and help us make the shows better and help us grow even more. So again, thank you for that. Now today, it's my pleasure to introduce our special guest, Verdine White. Verdine is a founding member and bassist for the legendary band Earth, Wind, and Fire, earning more than 50 gold and platinum albums and selling more than 90 million albums worldwide. In addition, the band won 6 Grammy Awards and is a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, Verdine has been voted one of the top 100 greatest bass players of all time and has collaborated as a musician, composer, and producer with several artists, including Jennifer Lopez, Mary J. Blige, and Kelly Clarkson.
Online coffee break.
All right, well, Verdine, again, thank you so much for joining me today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it is an honor. Now, Verdine, congratulations. I cannot believe it's been nearly 50 years of success for Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
Now, I understand. I'd love to go back just a little bit, bit. I understand your dad, who's a medical doctor, wanted you to follow in his field, enter the world of medicine. Right. But that changed a little bit, and you began studying the upright bass. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about that and how you got your start.
Well, of course, my late brother Maurice, the musician and icon, and he was then before he started Earth, Wind, and Fire. And then I got into, and he actually got me an upright bass, and I started practicing and things like that, taking lessons. And then his great friend Louis Satterfield, who was with the Phoenix Horns, was my bass guitar teacher. So that's what happened. And so it was great,
Oh, that's fantastic. Can I ask who inspired you? Who were some of your musicians of the day that just really inspired you to go on that path? Well,
at the time, a lot of jazz musicians, people like Ron Carter, on bass, James Jamerson, Paul McCartney, Motown, So it was a good mixture, coming from Chicago, you heard everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It was a lot, it was a lot, you know what I mean? You heard R&B, you heard the blues. So it was a great mixture coming from Chicago.
See, I think that's great because I think that mixture is, of course, ultimately what led you to your amazing success. Now, one thing that I love is you've been voted one of the top 100 greatest bass players of all time. You even came out with a booklet called How to Play the Bass as well, an instructional video. But I understand, one thing I thought was really fascinating is you keep training to get even better. And I just wonder what keeps you motivated to keep learning like that?
Just keep doing it. You know what I mean? I just, I still practice at night. I still listen to music. I still go see people play. You know what I mean? So I still do what I always did. I think that's always great to do, and it inspires me, So I think that's what it does, because music is an everlasting thing that goes on and on and on, in your life, and it's a great thing because you can do it for a long time, if you stay listening and things like that.
Yeah. Now, if we have some other inspiring musicians out there, what advice would you give to them?
I would say make it your life, make it your life, because it's something that will empower you through your whole life, and you'll learn a lot through music. You learn how to, you learn about love, you learn about people, you learn about how to work with other musicians, and music, it's the arts, the artists, we're here to give to the people, that's our job.
Absolutely. Well, I feel I'm just honored because I'm talking with a master of art, in my opinion. Now, one thing that I want to say is your stage performance and energy, your solos are just fantastic. Did that amazing stage presence come naturally to you?
Half did, and the rest I trained. Dance classes, and Maurice, of course, was the drill master, so he drilled it in us, and you just get into it. And that's what we started.
Well, now, how do you keep your energy so high? I understand there's a little bit of yoga and some good eating.
Yeah, and would you believe it's 8 o'clock out there? I was in the gym this morning at 6 here in Los Angeles.
Excellent. Good for you. You are motivated.
It was dark outside, and it was 42 degrees, so I got it in.
Oh, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, man.
Speaking of your stage performance, now coming up, you've got some exciting shows coming up. I understand you guys will be in Las Vegas at the Venetian the last 2 weeks in March.
That's right, in our residency, yes.
Excellent. Now, for those of us, the listeners out there who haven't seen Earth, Wind & Fire perform, how would you describe your concerts? What can they expect?
Well, you'll feel better when you came than when you you'll feel better when you leave than when you came. And so it's going to be a fun show. And then this year we're doing the Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles here.
Yeah.
But that's going to be a lot of fun. And then we won the Grammys last weekend. So things are good.
Yeah, that performance at the Grammys was wonderful. I really enjoyed that.
It was 2 minutes. It was a 2-minute performance. And it's amazing what those things do. People tell you, I'm in the car, and people say, we saw you last time in the Grammys. So things are good for EWF.
Well, I tell you, your energy is contagious too. And when you talked about, you mentioned the Hollywood Bowl for 2 nights this September. September is a pretty big month for you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, it's our month. It is our month. The stock market goes up. People are getting married on September 21st.
That's
people
the day.
Are arranging their pregnancies on September 21st.
Really?
You know what I mean? So, it's people are having parties on September 21st. You know what I mean? It's a whole thing.
I think that's fantastic. I can't believe it's been nearly 40 years since September came out, your hit. And the video, oh my gosh, I checked this morning. The video has over 250 million views. That's just astounding.
I know. Somebody sent a parrot the other day dancing to September.
Oh, really?
It's just one of those kind of songs that we're very lucky, with those kind of songs that often. But it's great. It's great. It's great. It's a great place to be.
You've been obviously performing for a while. Are there any favorite songs that you like to perform live?
They all are. You know what I mean?
I knew you'd say that.
I still love doing fantasy. Of course, I love doing September and Shining Star, and I love the ballads. I write a song for you, and some of those things. And sometimes if we get into a certain audience, we get a chance to play a longer version of Sun Goddess, depending on the audience,
Oh, very nice. Now, Verdine, I know you love to create music, but you also work with other artists, including Jennifer Lopez, maybe Blige.
Yeah, I did Solange and things like that, and Kelly Clarkson. And it's great. They're just great people to work with, really great people.
I was just going to say, that's got to be so inspiring to both you and them to just share your creativity. I was just wondering if you had any particular songs that meant the most to you when working with another artist that you can mention or experiences.
Well, they bring their scrapbooks, and I'm taking pictures for their families, and I spent half the time taking pictures, and they tell me where they were, and so it's a great thing. It's a great thing. At the Grammys last week, all the other young artists like her and everybody came up and wanted a picture and just to have a picture with them. So it's an honor, It's an honor,
That's wonderful. I was wondering, do you have any work coming up that you can share?
Well, I just got through doing Evan Ross's record, Diana Ross's son, and Ashley Simpson, so that's a lot of fun. But the next phase of these concerts, that's the next phase. That's what I'm getting ready for now.
That's wonderful. Now, also, in addition to, your performance in Las Vegas and then, of course, Hollywood Bowl in September, you're going to be all over the place. I know I'm in Indianapolis right now, my hometown, Cincinnati, so you guys will be at the Cincinnati Jazz Festival on July 26th.
Right. And we're in Jazz Fest in New Orleans this year, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Do you have any experiences at some of the venues you performed so far that just you look back and go, "Wow, I can't believe that happened," or just amazing that you could share?
Well, they're all different, but in a nutshell, they're all great. They're great, and we have 5 generations of people, so that's the beauty of this thing,
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. Now, the one thing I do love is how you give back, and one thing that you do is you have the Verdine White Performing Arts Center. I was wondering if you could just tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, it started by myself and my wife and my son about 15 years ago, and we've grown really great. We're on 4700 in Avalon in Los Angeles, and every Wednesday we feed the young people for free. We give them free breakfast, with yogurt and granola,
Nice.
And free orange juice, free coffee for their parents. Not Starbucks, but our version.
Of course.
And we feed 100 kids a week that come before breakfast, because a lot of the urban kids, you have to understand that they don't really eat properly before they go to school, and we find it there, and we find it there that affects their work. And so we feed 100 kids a week, 400 a month, and last year in 2018 we fed 4,000 kids.
Oh.
4,000.
That's incredible. That's incredible, and also sad at the same time, because it's just hard to believe that there are kids out there that just don't have that. The food plentiful. We take for granted how much we have.
Right.
I really appreciate you doing that. And then you also help them become musicians. How does that work?
Well, I have a studio upstairs for them, and there's a chapel downstairs where we have plays and theater stuff we do and things like that. They spend most of their time in the studio up there. Most of the time, that's where they are most of the time. Okay, so it's great,
I don't blame them. That sounds wonderful. Now, if I can ask, I know music is your life and helping out the kids is wonderful. What else? Do you have any hobbies that you do in your free time, or is it music? Is it?
Well, this is I make it all my free time too. It's all kind of runs together. Well,
I tell you, it's just very impressive. And again, I cannot believe just what an amazing career you've had and the band. And I just want to thank you again, Verdine, for just taking the time to join us today. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to what's coming up for you.
Thank you so much. See you soon. Huh?
All right. Sounds great, Verdine. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Online coffee break.
Wow, what a pleasure it was to talk with Verdine today. What an amazing bassist and an amazing band. Earth, Wind, and Fire is spectacular. If you'd like to find out more about their tour, just check out their website, earthwindandfire.com. I want to thank Verdine for joining me today. I want to thank you for joining us as well. If you'd like to comment on today's topic, just go to our website, onlinecoffeebreak.com, or give us a call at 317-862-4700. You can also comment or follow us on Instagram or Facebook at Online Coffee Break. We'd also love it if you'd share this episode with your friends, or leave us a comment on your favorite podcast application like Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for joining us today. See you next time. God bless.